also want to say that sometimes it might be the stress to
Uh-huh.
your partner, you talking to you.
Nkechi.
Oh, Nkechi, is that you? So sometimes talking about stress, you might be stressed with someone else. So ask yourself, what am I doing
Yes.
that is hurting
That
this
is
guy or this
causing
lady?
this
Yes.
stress.
Hello viewers, welcome to Hopefulme TV. And today we have someone amazing. I'll allow her to do the introduction herself. So tell us.
Okay. Hi guys, my name is Patience Okorie.
Is that all?
Yes, ma'am. What else? Please, my name
Okay,
is
so
Patience.
she's Patience and she's also makeup artist.
Okay.
She's a female entrepreneur. She's a lot. So I'll just end here for now so we can continue with our program. And your host is Johnson Crystal Kalu. So we want to talk about stress. We all know that stress is something that is part of life, but when we don't manage it properly, it becomes an issue. And we have 3 categories of stress we've outlined. Although there are still more of them, but we'll focus on work stress, love stress, and then lifestyle stress. Yes.
Love stress. I'm not a mom.
See, love is the most stressful part of stress. Like, hey, I can't relate to that, but
Tell us more.
tell me more, please. I guess we don't want to do the talking today. So, by the way, we want to encourage you to live an ideal life. So, I feel like this topic would help you plan your life properly, so you don't fall into sicknesses,
Depression,
going
mental
crazy.
breakdown.
Yes. So that's why I want to talk about stress today. So the first here is work stress. So Patience, what do you think and how do you feel you can handle work stress? Most of us do 9 to 5, some work from home, some are still applying for jobs, and the whole process is a whole lot of stress. So what do you think?
Well, this work stress we are talking about is actually a real thing. In fact, we cannot undermine it because it is there and it is existing. For some of us that are within the working phase of our lives, it's something we cannot, will I say,
Escape.
avoid
Yes,
or
yes.
escape. You know, sometimes you have to wake up so early, 5 a.m. In fact, I have a friend in Lagos that wakes up. She says she wakes up by 4 because she has to beat traffic 4 a.m. every day, and she's going for an 8 a.m. job, but she's already up by 4. She's leaving her house, so you can imagine when she wakes up. So it's actually a lot. And for those of us that are not living in places where we have to deal with traffic, we have deadlines, we have bosses that are very hard to impress, and it's a lot. So dealing with that kind of stress, I think number 1 is to identify your major stress point, your major stressor.
Okay.
If you are the type that what stresses you the most is time, like waking up hours.
Okay.
Your major stressor is traffic. Then you have to know how to adjust yourself, so that you can go to bed on time.
Okay, so you can wake up.
Yeah, so that you can wake up earlier. You try to get enough rest as much as you can so that you can wake up earlier. Before you know it, our body adjusts. Before you know it, your body will be able to adjust to that time. But it's not the way you will now come back from work and you now start pressing food or doing long night
or
calls
hanging out.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You will now be up and then you will sleep on time, and next thing, before you could close your eyes and open it, 4 a.m. is here, or 3 a.m., whatever. So, identify your major stress points. If you are the one that have a boss that is so difficult to impress, you should be able to identify, okay, this my boss has a problem, and you know how to work on your mental health. Prepare yourself ahead of time.
Yeah, sure.
And sometimes it's even colleagues at work, so you'll be able to prepare your mind to work with these people in such a way that it doesn't affect you as much. Yeah, that's what I think.
So I think you've said a lot, and I want to chip in something for those persons that are CEOs and bosses too, because bosses too go through stress.
Of course.
So one of my senior friends usually says that he doesn't take work calls when he's at home.
Okay. Yes.
So it tells the staff they know.
Yeah.
Can't call him on phone once it's no
A
longer work
certain
time. Yeah.
time. Yes.
Tell him that something happened and all that.
Yes.
And he says he can't do anything about it because he's at home with his family. He can't leave his family to. So
Yeah.
whatever it is,
Yes,
keep it
that's more
aside.
like setting boundaries.
Yes.
Yes. You know
When you're at home,
you're at home.
When you're at work, you're at work.
Exactly.
Some of us, you be in the house, you're doing work in the house. Then when you're now at work, you're trying to do house stuff.
Yes.
So just try to be simple-minded. When you're at work, you're at work. When you're at home,
Yes.
office
you're at
people,
home.
day or day,
Yes.
be on your own. I think it helps too.
Yes, having that clear boundaries, because if
Exactly.
you don't have these boundaries, people and things will continue to come in.
It will keep coming and you keep accepting them.
Yes, so you should have these boundaries. In fact, the major step I would say is identifying that stress point, that particular thing that is stressing you. I think when you identify it, you can now be able to build structures and organize yourself in such a way that will no longer be a problem.
Yeah, for those of us that work requires them working all the time, maybe a doctor, you can get a phone call anytime. I think there are times when you have to take a break.
Exactly.
But when you're sleeping, you turn off your phone so you can have enough rest.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have enough rest, you can't even work.
Yes, you
the
cannot
job
function
at hand.
effectively.
Yeah, you can't even help those that need you.
Yes, that's true.
So you need to help yourself so you can help them.
That's true.
So the next is lifestyle.
Mm.
So there is a lot of stress that comes with one's lifestyle, and it could be when you want to meet up with certain standard.
Certain status quo.
Yeah,
peer pressure.
want people to see you as this all the time, even when it's not there.
Yes.
So how do you
fake life?
That's the word. So most times it's not actually fake life in quote, but we want to maintain a certain lifestyle that suits our personality.
Yes.
But time comes when the resources are no longer there as
available.
Yes. But we are still stuck with this is the kind of life we want to live.
Yeah.
So how do we handle this?
I think this lifestyle is very broad. Just like you said, it's not necessarily fake life. There are people that are actually living a fake life where they know they can't afford a certain lifestyle. They can't afford a certain thing, to wear certain clothes, to be in a certain social circle. But then they keep, forcing themselves there because they want to belong, or they don't want to be seen as, less. So they keep, making, let's say, creating make-believes. Making it seem like they are there, but they are not there. So sometimes these things living that kind of life can really be very stressful, because you go out of your way to get a certain clothes, certain shoes, certain hair for the ladies. So I think it is best you cut your clothes. Is it your coat according to your clothes? How do they say it?
Not according to size now.
Yes, not according to
so you
size.
cut your
Now clothes according to
your
your clothes.
Because if according to size, everybody could cut.
Exactly. I feel big. I feel get big eye.
Yeah.
I want to live large.
Exactly.
But the clothes is not enough.
Yeah.
So please, if at all, it is even best to live below your means, because that way you are not pressured.
Yeah.
That way you are not trying to meet up. You are just, performing at your comfortable place. And then gradually you grow. When you get to the point where you'll be able to afford more or be in that social circle.
Yeah, you just do it.
Yeah, you just with ease.
It happens.
Yes.
You don't have to force it.
Yeah, it happens.
And this issue of lifestyle, it's also common with people moving into apartments.
Yeah, exactly. That's another place we see.
Yeah, I usually tell people, if you can't afford your house rent in a month, I don't think being in that apartment is ideal.
Yeah, it's not.
So that's the standard I keep for myself. Any house I'm moving into that is not my own house, I have to be able to afford the house rent from my monthly resources. Not when you want to pay your rent.
At the
you
most
have to
2
borrow.
months.
Yeah,
At the most
a month
2
or
months.
two. Yeah,
Yes,
not you want to pay your rent, you go here, do here.
Yeah.
So I know there's also this area of our life or where we want to have a good standard of living.
Yes, that is not necessarily fake life.
Yes.
But that's just
you just want to have comfort. You want to have this.
Yes.
But while looking for comfort, you should know that comfort mustn't be immediate. Mm-hmm. You can suffer yourself a bit more to get to a
enjoy
good comfort.
later, to enjoy
so living a good life is okay. It doesn't mean you have to live in a very bad environment.
No.
There's no water, there's no life because you are trying to be humble.
Of course, why are
Yeah.
we hustling now?
Because
Why are we working hard?
and the funny thing is when you live in a bad place is also stress itself.
Yeah.
So like she said, having a balance makes a whole lot of sense.
It makes your life easy.
Easy, yes.
There's no point trying to get to where you are not. at
When
the
there's no
moment.
time yet,
When there's
yes.
not time.
So lifestyle stress is something we need to deal with so we can have an amazing life at the end of the day. So the next is love stress. Now love has to do with relationship,
Yeah.
marriage, dating. Let's include single people into this single
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
stress
Yes.
too, because
Single-hood stress.
everyone is involved in this battle of love.
Of course.
Whether you find love or not, you're involved. So how do you deal with love stress? Like I said earlier, I know to sabi about love. I don't know anything about love. I'm not a picture of love. I'm not a love.
Okay.
But we have
And
someone
that
here.
was-
We have someone here that is. She knows what she's going to tell us about this. So
Please.
please tell us about love. All right. So
Okay.
love stress is something that affects us because when you don't have a balance in your love life, it affects the way you think. When you go through a breakup, it affects your mental health.
Of course.
Affects the fact people, it becomes
Of
obvious.
course.
And when you find love newly too, it affects the way you think. You become over hyperactive.
Yes.
Like you are just start doing
Me like say you
overwhelming.
don't find love before.
No, I'm just speaking from
Eh.
you get so
Okay.
all those things. So how do you manage all these things? Because it's an area of our life you don't have to ignore.
Yeah. Yes. Queuing into what you've just said, love stress is something that is part of life.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
part of whether you are loving or you are not. Either ways, it will affect you, And we are not only going to look at the negative aspect of it too. Sometimes when you are too in love, it begins to affect other parts of your life, and it will be causing you stress. For example, if you have to wake up by 5 a.m. to prepare for work, for example, and then all night you are doing love call. Before you close your eyes and open it, it's morning and you have to dress up and rush to work. Anyway, that aside, I really believe that, through our journey of life and love, we should not lose ourselves in the process. So whenever relationships are beginning to become stressful or causing stress, I think the first thing still is to identify the stress point.
Yeah.
What is the issue? Is this stress my partner? Am I unequally yoked? Am I with the wrong person? What is this stress issue? Or is it an issue within the relationship? Because sometimes unresolved issues.
Yeah.
Yes, like even of course couples fight too. And maybe when you are fighting, it will also affect your outputs.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you should identify the stressors in the relationship and be able to salvage them. And be able to avoid them if it's avoidable, or address them so that it won't be a problem and it will not affect your general output. That's why I do what you do.
And also, I also want to say that sometimes it might be the stress to
Uh-huh.
your partner, you talking to you.
Nkechi.
Oh, Nkechi, is that you? So sometimes talking about stress, you might be stressed with someone else. So ask yourself, what am I doing
Yes.
that is hurting
That
this
is
guy or
causing
this lady?
this
Yes.
stress.
Because when your partner is feeling stressed out, there won't be synergy in the relationship.
Of course.
You get so find out if you're also the cause of the stress in the whole relationship.
Yeah.
If it's from you, most times we don't like being sincere with ourselves. We feel like we are perfect. We can't cause
We
problems.
can do no wrong.
In fact, when people break up, they be like, he was the one, she was the one. They will never admit that we are
That they
fault.
had anything to contribute.
Yeah. So then for singles like us, because I can speak for us singles.
Yeah.
Being without love is stressful to an extent because whenever it's Valentine's Day, you begin to struggle with your mind.
Right.
You begin complaining. You begin. In fact, when you see people's posts on social media, people in love, you want to. In fact, you want to delete the post from their feed. All those kind of a thing. So, but I just feel like life is in stages and in phases.
Yeah.
Enjoy your singlehood. Appreciate what it comes with.
Yeah. And
If you-
everyone have their seasons and
Exactly.
times. So when you just invest in improving yourself and
Yeah.
getting better at that thing you know how to do.
enjoy the moment.
Yes,
Yeah.
enjoy the moment. I think love will find you. Right?
Yeah, it's true.
Of
it's
course. So if there is no man or no woman, at least that your job or that your course you're studying, please face it and do it well.
True.
You know, from that point of duty, things can just, yeah, your lover might find you. So I think that's
Yeah, so in summary, we encourage you to take care of yourself.
yes, please.
And one of the few things to help ease stress is taking a nap when you can. Take enough nap, like sleep well as well. Then exercise too.
Yes,
Working
engage
out.
in healthy habits,
Yes.
exercise, eating
Eating
healthy,
well, yes.
eating well, maintain a good diet, and then also involve yourself in some extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
Don't let your entire life be their partner. So when he's having some breakdown, you will also be
yes,
broken.
yes.
So don't let your entire life revolve around one person
Or one particular
or
work.
one particular job.
Yes.
Or your obsession to being a big boy, a big
Yeah.
girl, or getting some certain kind of cliques or friends. So you can have a hobby. If you love to sing, please go ahead. Join the choir. Play table tennis.
Yeah, get involved.
Yes, get involved. Find other things to take responsibility for. Find things that makes you happy. Find things that makes you excited, makes you feel productive.
And it will distract you from
And it will
a lot of
distract
things.
you. Yes, So that's what I think about that. Please.
Yeah, so thank you so much for coming to our studio today.
Thank
I hope we didn't stress you.
you. Not at all.
All right. So thank you all for being part of today's episode. And we hope you have a stress-free day. And thank you. See you next time.
Yeah, we hope so too.
Bye.
Bye.